Welcome and good Sunday morning. We are gonna probably finish the series against the Reds this morning. We'll be getting started here momentarily. How's everybody doing? We're gonna have Zach Eflin on the mound. I did simulate the game, so there will be a score bug, even though the score bug itself is bugged. Okay. Finally give Adley a day off now that Gary Sanchez is back healthy. We are not benching Jackson Holiday. We are not benching Cedric Mullins. As a matter of fact, we moved Cedric Mullins to third because that seems to be the spot in the lineup that everybody thinks he's going to play, which to say that makes no sense to me
Interleague
is an
baseball on
understatement.
MLB The Show. It's the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Let's jump right in with a player who's hit a bit of a rough patch lately.
And
It's been an
Mountcastle on the
absolute
struggle
ice
bus.
cold streak, Singy.
Yeah, Boo, but today could be his day to break out of it. A few swings, some luck, and maybe he'll get back on track. It's just about finding that rhythm.
He has not done well in his last 32 at bats. Probably could use a day
All
off.
right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about to get started, and towing the slab here, Zach Eflin.
He's had his ups and downs in his career as his ERA is just over 4, but this is a guy that's not afraid. He's going to take the ball, he's going to go out there and give it his best.
Here's the left fielder, Jake Fraley.
Jake Fraley.
And that misses. And we are underway. That's towards center. Mullins under it. And it's caught for the out.
And Cedric
Here's the
Mullins
line for
flies
the
out.
Reds. One guy
Batting
swinging a
second,
hot bat
third
recently,
baseman.
Matt
Or,
Or, I'm
McCullough.
sorry.
Well, these days we know teams
Jake Fraley
they put a
flies
game
out to
plan
Cedric
together
Mullins.
for every hitter in a lineup, but a guy like this, they circle him, make sure he doesn't beat you. So you know they put in a little extra time and effort on how they're going to approach him. He can be a huge difference maker when he's hot. So it's going to be fun to see how they try to work him right here.
Santiago Espinal now at the plate as he swings through strike one. One out, base is empty. Not even close there. And 1-1. And that's downstairs and outside.
We got 2 balls, 1 strike.
That one fouled off. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. Swings and chases a low one there. Gets to it on to first. Gets the out. 2 down after the strikeout.
Good start to the game for Eflin.
There typically likes to shoot the ball the other way, but that time, a little anxious.
2 down, base is empty. Ellie De La
There's
Cruz.
Ellie De La Cruz.
First pitch doesn't find the zone. De La Cruz in his second season.
De La Cruz is a
23 years
tricky
old,
hitter because
and
you
he
don't
was
want to pitch
selected for
around
the
him.
All-Star game last
Because
year.
if you walk him, he's going to make it hurt on the base pass. With that, he's
Swing and a miss.
arguably, definitely one of the fastest guys in the league. Maybe the fastest.
Swing and a ground ball, base hit right field. Zips it to first, and that'll do it. Reds go down quietly, and now the O's will get their first crack at it. No score. You're watching Major
Zach
League
Eflin
Baseball
goes
on
1,
the
2,
show.
3.
Back here with my pal Singing.
Eflin is a
And
guy
getting the
that
start for Cincinnati,
the Orioles are going to
Hunter
need
Green.
quality
Chris,
starts
a
from.
sub-3 ERA for him a
He's the
year
guy
ago.
that's got to get him 6
When
innings.
your
Even
numbers are coming
even
in under
when
for
Grayson
me as a
comes
starting
back,
pitcher that's going
if he
out
comes
there
back.
every fourth or fifth
Grayson's
day,
not going to be
taking
the
ball,
6th inning
competing
guy.
against really good big league hitters. It's extremely impressive.
Eflin and maybe Morton
You wonder what he figured out last
and maybe
year.
even Sagano have to be the
This
6th inning
season,
guys.
It can help him to maintain that number or even drop it lower. We'll see, but we know he's got good stuff, and he should be really good in this one today.
Gunnar Henderson, the leadoff batter, as he looks at ball 1. Fastball is outside.
When you get ahead in the count, there's no doubt that the success rate goes up, and that's what he's been doing. It's made a big impact for him in recent games.
Now 3-0. There's a strike. Fouled off. He
Gunnar
was
batting
late.
312 on the year. We will do a recap after the 2 games against the Reds. We're going to run the league, go over the
I
league
don't think he
leaders,
really wanted to pitch to him right there.
take a look at some stats.
Here's Tyler O'Neill.
Tyler O'Neill.
And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Count 1-0.
Of course, Baltimore's headed right down the I-95 corridor to D.C. after this series
That's cheddar, baby.
to take on the local rival, the Washington Nationals.
At the knees.
Good zip on that fastball at the bottom of the zone. If he's there all day, it's going to be a tough one for the hitters.
Next offering upstairs.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Count full.
Caught him looking for the K.
Hunter Green with the strikeout of Tyler O'Neill.
Cedric Mullins getting ready to hit. Homered last night. Added another hit as well. And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Here's a player known for playing.
I
better
refuse
in
to
big
believe,
games,
even
which
though
is
this is the
always
projected
case.
lineup from
Big games are
Fangraphs,
different.
I
Things
refuse to
change
believe
from
that
game
Cedric
times
Mullins
to
is going to be the guy
game.
hitting third in this lineup.
He sure makes the transition look easy.
Henderson, the base runner at first with 1 out.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that pitch was.
Way upstairs. Now 1-2. And there's a ball. And that is downstairs. Full count, 3-2. And And ball 4 to a board.
And he walks Mullins. His second walk. The Orioles still don't have a hit, but they have a runner in scoring position.
2 on, 1 out. Westbrook digs in now. And that is out of play.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
That clips the corner.
Don't play situation here. He's been working
Nice
up
pitch
in the
by
zone.
Green.
Typically, you look for guys to get that ground ball. See if he adjusts on this next pitch.
And that one is inside ball 1.
Well, Boog, early on in this one, having a hard time getting settled in. He's not showing control to throw strikes, and let alone to throw it where he wants in the strike zone. This could be a tough one for him.
Battling here as he fouls it away.
Well, he got challenged with a good fastball right there. Just couldn't catch up.
24 pitches in the first inning for Green.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Now he has 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
Batting fifth,
So 2
right
down
fielder.
now, and here is Colton Cowser.
What's up, Pigtown? I really need to sit down and get everything up and running in Streamlabs so I can have
2 outs.
my chat more visible. I can have alerts.
And that one
I just
fouled
don't have the patience to sit there and do all
Another
this
breaking
stuff.
ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
That one missed.
That's a good pitch.
I tell you what,
Really had some run and
if
finished
Brandon
it
Hyde
in just on the
runs
edge.
with that
That's where
Fangraphs
it gets
projected
slow.
lineup
He had a broken
where
back.
Cedric Mullins is
So
hitting
back to the
third,
dugout.
That missed inside.
I got
The
questions.
count now 2-2.
I got lots of
Man,
questions.
I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
Next offering misses.
You're going to tell me in a lineup that includes
Got the hitter conscious
Gunnar
of the
Henderson,
pitch
Adley
inside.
Rushman,
I really think the
Tyler
umpire
O'Neill, and Jordan Westberg,
That's
the
a
projected
good
number
at-bat
3 hitter is
early in that
Cedric
game.
Mullins.
Works the walk.
No, that sets up a really big at bat in this game. These are the moments when everyone in the stadium gets really locked in.
So bases all loaded
I agree with
up.
you.
Here's Gary Sanchez now. Swing
But
and
I
a
have
miss.
seen multiple sites, not just Fangraphs. Multiple sites have him projected third. Like, in what world, in what world is he hitting third in this lineup?
Right through there for a strike.
If he hits third in the lineup, it better be because Adley, Jordan, and Gunnar all were given the same day off. And honestly, that should never happen. Too.
2 outs. Struck him out looking.
Sometimes he wears the emotion on the sleeve, but that's okay as long as he's getting results. And right there, thrilled with the punch out to get out of a jam.
And welcome back to the
Leading off
ballpark.
for Cincinnati,
Top of the second,
catcher,
and now the catcher
Tyler
comes up to
Stevenson.
him. Tyler Stevenson. Eflin back to work. Pitch misses
Ugh.
there. Ball 1.
Like I said, the biggest thing I want to set up in Streamlabs is I want my chat to pop up on my
Assigned to work home plate in this one.
Good umpire.
Screen.
Very fair, very consistent. Now, I did hear some feedback that he opens up the outside corner a little bit on left-handed hitters, which, you know, for me, I'd be kind of salty.
Are you looking
So
forward
maybe something
to
to keep an eye
Thursday,
on and see
getting
if
the
that
season
factors into
up
this
and
one at
up and
all.
going?
On the ground, right side. Throws to first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Fans don't really understand the familiarity and relationship players and coaches have with umpires. I mean, you see them a lot.
Yeah, Boog, they're all out there trying to do their best and perform at a high level. So when you respect that, I think over time you can develop a relationship with them.
And downstairs, as the game has moved along, we see more and more information supplied by teams about the umpires. I've been in clubhouses.
I think
where they have
eventually I
pictures
want
of
to.
all 4
The one thing I
umpires,
didn't buy when I was
names,
buying
phone
all my
towns,
stuff,
and as
and I
well
probably should have
hobbies
while
listed just so you
I
can
was
kind
getting
of
the
small
okay to
talk
do
the
so.
umpire a little bit.
One thing I
That's
didn't
great.
buy, and I was told to buy it, but I didn't think I needed it right now. I should have bought the Stream Deck.
And that's way high. And it's 3-2.
You don't know anybody that could create me an intermission,
Second inning here,
a
no score.
few scenes for like intermission and for starting up a stream,
Swing
do
and a
you?
high fly ball, well struck. Way back there.
I can do thumbnails. I don't know if I can do animation.
And he makes the catch.
Batting sixth, first baseman, Christian
In now for the
Encarnacion
Reds,
Strand.
Christian Encarnacion Strand.
Encarnacion Strand. I noticed he's
Swing,
dropped the
ball popped in the air.
Strand out of
And
his
that'll
name,
fall
apparently.
for a
He's
base
just
hit.
Christian
And that keeps
Encarnacion
the
now.
inning going. Now it's the Reds DH, Spencer Steer. That one finds the zone. Strike one. Two gone, but the go-ahead.
This is a
run
guy
at
I
first.
love.
Near the top of the second.
Steer.
In the dirt.
I wish there was some way he was. I don't know where he would play, but I wish we had. I'll have to look into that.
In the dirt, but kept close.
I got to get back to just now sitting down and doing a video just
It
talking
stays alive.
baseball. I don't want it to just be video game streams. I want to do podcast stuff where I just
2 and 2.
talk about the game. I think once the season starts, I may
Ground ball
start
up the
doing
middle.
that after
They take the force out.
maybe not every
That's the
game, but
third
some
out.
games.
So one hit is all they get. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. And we're back. Bottom half of inning number 2. Now at the plate, Ryan Orioles.
36 pitches in the first inning is not good. It's also not good that I had made him throw 36 pitches and yet I scored no runs. By the way, since you were last in the stream, I've won 4 in a row. I'm 9-11 right now.
Cut on and miss. Struck him out. Make it 4 strikeouts for him on the bump today.
Just blown away in that at bat. 3 fastballs, 4 strikes. He wasn't even able to foul one off. There's not much you can take away from an at bat like that as a hitter, other than maybe there's something wrong with your eyes. Got to have better timing on the fastball. Next
Will the stuff in the Elgato Marketplace work with Streamlabs?
Around second now, going for 3. And he's got himself a triple.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Put a
I don't know.
really nice balanced swing on it, and when you can
I know I sound like I don't know what I'm doing, and I honestly don't, because like I've been streaming for a while, but all of this stuff is new to me too.
Opportunity to push across the first run of the ballgame.
Jackson Holiday, the next to hit, takes outside.
Well, we call that keyholing. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing.
Okay, I'll take a look.
The 1-1 is
I gotta sit down. I know I gotta sit down and go through all this.
that one way inside. Straighten him up a little bit.
Because I would love to have a start screen so I can fire up the stream, maybe let people get in here and then start instead of just going right into the.
2-2 after the foul ball. And that one in the air center field. Friedel sizing this one up.
When is your
And makes
next
the
pod?
grab. Runner tags for home. The relay throw.
That's a nice job right there. It's always great when you can get on the scoreboard first. Just Good situational hitting to bring him
Oh, I
back
know.
to third right there.
No, I know it's a lot of work. That's why when the laptop was gotten for me as a Christmas
Gunnar
gift,
Henderson, the
you
next to
know,
hit for the Orioles.
it wasn't understood that, okay, this is the
Swing and a
big
miss,
piece.
98 on the
But this is
gun.
just a piece of what I need.
Just off the inside edge.
That was absolute gas. Triple digits on the gun. It's just a different experience as a hitter watching that go by.
Gunnar Henderson, wave it, bye-bye. I hope we see that on opening day.
That one felt good, and they add on. It's 2-0. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games.
If you need a fill-in, let me know.
Well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now.
Number 7 of the year for Gunnar. You know what's weird, Big Town? I went back in MLB the 24, 23, and 22. Those first, 2 weeks of April, I always struggle to get my timing. Then by the end of the second week, third week of April, I start to get my timing, and I start to actually... I mean, look, I was all the way down on Veteran Plus. Now I'm almost back to All-Star Plus.
Just missed.
That's inside.
But then again, I guess that's the point of dynamic difficulty, is to go up and down with how, to make it, to give you the feel of the ebb and flows of a real Major League season, in my opinion. I hope you feel better, sir, and I appreciate you being here.
That is the third out of the inning. So they get 2 runs on 2 hits. One of them left the yard. We head on down to the top.
I want to ask you, because you're probably one of the most true baseball guys I know. Is it weird that I enjoy scoring runs in this game even more by base hits, extra base hits, and sac flies than I do home runs?
And a pitcher wants to go out there, have a real quick inning, get those guys back into the dugout so those bats can stay hot.
Even though I just hit a home run with Gunnar, that sacrifice fly I got right before I got the Gunnar, that was more exciting to me than the home run, just because that's baseball. I get so mad at watching this game sometimes with certain players, with these especially the Diamond Dynasty guys that complain about bloop hits and, infield singles. It's like, if all you want to do is hit, max velocity off the bat and want to know why everything's a home run, go play backyard baseball. Don't play baseball.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
Yeah, and you give me a nice Texas leaguer that falls between the shortstop and the left fielder.
On the way.
Chef's kiss.
Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again.
I like to think of myself as a little bit of a baseball purist.
So a leadoff walk.
When you go that deep into
I don't think anything was wrong with the game in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s.
That's in for a strike.
Heck, if it was up to me, I'd probably, and this is one of those hot takes that I would die on the hill. If it was up to me, I don't think there'd be a DH.
That's a big first out of the inning. He showed off his skills catching the line drive, but most importantly, he kept the runner out of scoring position. Things would look a little different if he didn't make that play.
Fraley takes a ball as he stands in for the second time. Hines leads off first with 1 away.
Wow.
Line drive.
There's nothing better than watching a third baseman make great plays like that. You can't just throw anyone out there and hope it works out. That's the
analytics in a lot of ways have hurt the game more than they've helped the game.
Lets that one go for a ball. The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. Strike in there. Throw, save. That's a stolen base. Runner at second, 2 down. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. And now 2 balls and a strike.
Oh, I know. I say this to my buddy Amos all the time, and I know you've been in his streams. He says he's not going to do it this year, and so far he hasn't, for the record. But he would always complain about good timing, good contact, fly ball out. And I would always say to him, I said, how many times in post-game interviews do you hear players say, I feel like I got every inch of that ball, and I flew out to the warning track? Like, good contact, and to be honest, if you look at those first 10, 15 games I played, I got so frustrated, I actually put on Twitter that and I did delete the game off my hard drive. That's how frustrated I got with hitting. You know, because everything was good contact, good timing, and I kept flying out. But that's baseball.
He hasn't been very efficient in terms of the pitch count. He's going to need to get some quick outs if he's going to get deeper into this game.
You know, the other side of it is, how many times have you heard a player say, I didn't feel like I got all of it, and it went over the fence? Or that it, died it. How many times you hear, you get a broken bat single, that bat died a hero.
Foul ball there. Swing and a miss. Hunter Green with the strikeout.
With that kind of velocity, an elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
And next will be the cleanup hitter, Jordan Westburg. His first at-bat was a strikeout. That's a strike.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, when they first introduced Perfect, you know, people forget. I think they said like 85% of the time, Perfect was going to be a hit. And I think they said if you had a power rating over 80, Perfect's going to automatically result in a home run. But here's the thing, and I could be wrong about the percentage because Perfect's been in for years. But let's say it's 80. Well, let's see. If Perfect results in a hit 80% of the time, that means 20% of the time you could still get out. Exactly.
On the ground right side, and it goes just foul. The 0-2. And he couldn't hold back. He's rung up on strikes. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
So how do you feel about the signing of Kyle Gibson? Judging from what I saw on Twitter, you're not a huge fan. I don't think it means that Povich is going to lose his spot, number one, because we're not going to see Kyle Gibson until probably last week of April, first week of May.
The Reds signed Ellie in 2018, but it took a few years for him to stand out in their minor league system. In 2021, he went from an unranked prospect to a player on a fast track to the majors. Few scouts out there believe a growth spurt helped change Ellie's entire career.
Fouled off left side.
You know, the Reds were lucky they even noticed De La Cruz.
So are you in the camp that you think this means that Grayson's more hurt than they're letting on?
The Reds liked what they saw and offered him a deal the very next day.
Zips it across, and one gone in the fourth as they get the leadoff man.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Yeah, the batter now, Tyler Stevens.
Here's the thing.
His first time up.
I like the move only because I don't care what anybody says. You don't know what you're going to get out of Charlie Morton. You don't know what you're going to get out of Sagano. And you got to figure, even if Povich pitches
And that's
great,
in there at the knees.
Generally,
he's
second, third time through the lineup, you want to be able to
going
lean on those
to,
secondary pitches
he's
and
only going to
command them.
pitch
Looks like he's doing a nice job of it.
maybe 120 innings. So you're going to need some veteran to eat up some innings.
And that one is in there. Called
Just
strike
curious, you're a
3.
stats guy. And I know they have 6-man rotations out in Japan. What is the most, do you,
He's 0 for 1.
and I can look this up after my game, what's the most innings Sagano's ever pitched in a season?
And it's fouled away. Two down, nobody on.
You know, the one nice thing is Gibson is a guy that Adley has worked with, so they know, like,
so a foul ball makes
Adley knows what Gibson likes to throw. He knows.
It's a really good pass of the ball right there. Just a little bit too quick.
There, I love the familiarity factor, so I do think it's funny that two of the guys in our rotation now, if you factor in Gibson, basically said they were considering retirement before the Orioles called. Morton and Gibson.
Two down, nobody on.
Eflin's the young man in the rotation now.
Fights that one away, still 1-2. And there's a ball.
I was so tempted to make that Cedric Mullins trade I sent you yesterday. But the thing is, when I play franchise mode for season 1, I like to try to keep the rosters as close to what they are in real life as possible. And then once I get to the off season of season 1, that's where I'll start generally making my own changes.
Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Joey gets on base and keeps it going. And now the first baseman, Christian Encarnacion Strand. Right through there for a strike. Encarnacion Strand measures 6 feet even, 200.
Give me 1 second.
£125.
I am sitting at 400. I need 494 more hours for 4,000.
Friedel, the runner at first with 2 gone. Swing and a ground ball base hit right field. Quips it to Mountcastle, and he has thrown 4.
Man, I thought Christian Encarnacion Strand was going to be a stud.
No errors and 1 left. On now to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Orioles 2 and the Reds nothing. Back now at Oriole Park, John Chavi and Chris Singleton with you. And leading off the bottom of the 4th, Gary Sanchez.
You know, considering Chris Singleton played on some really bad Oriole teams, it's nice to hear him. He has nothing but good things to say about the city, the team, the stadium, the fans. Okay, I got Aiken. I got Perez I could use if I needed to. And Batista.
And first offering is fouled off.
You know, these Orioles doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of them. They've worked 3 walks already, so that proves they're not anxious up there. They're sticking to their game plan, and it's working.
So who do you think, if Sanchez were to get hurt, who do you think they call up first as the backup catcher? Is that how Samuel makes his Major League debut, or do they call up one of the other catchers from the minors?
And that skips into dirt. That's a good at bat right there. He was down early in
Nice
that
job
plate
working the
appearance.
walk from
Works the
down
walk.
Very
0-2.
close off the outside.
Fourth walk for Green.
Easily been called a strike in that
Designated
location.
hitter.
And at first, now here's the Orioles
O'Hearn.
DH. Ryan O'Hearn. 0 for 1. He struck out swinging last time. Fastball for a strike.
There it was, a high velocity fastball in the zone. I think a little frustration from walking the previous hitter. It's got good stuff. Pitch inside the zone and trust it.
Nope. Outside.
Activity in the bullpen for the Reds. Taylor Rogers preparing to come on if needed. Santillan, a hard-throwing right-hander, up as well. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Why did I not swing at that?
Just locked him up with that slider.
Well, this is a typical Hunter Green game. It's 8 strikeouts, 4 walks, high pitch count early on.
Mountcastle, the next to hit, takes ball 1.
Classic example of a thrower, not a pitcher.
And another ball.
No strike.
So peek down. I made a comment to a friend about the cover for MLB The Show. I like the concept of the 3-person cover. And I mean no disrespect to Paul Skeens. But if you were going to put Ellie and you were going to put Gunner on the cover, the third person should have been Bobby Witt. You should have featured the 3 good young shortstops in the league on one cover and saved Paul Skeens for next year or the year after, in my opinion.
Now pitching for
So a
Cincinnati.
new arm out of the bullpen for the Reds.
Andrew Abbott.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Second
Digging in,
baseman,
Jackson Holliday. Drove in a run with a sac fly his first time up.
Fastball sweeper. Yeah.
And downstairs. Runners at first and second with 1 gone. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Base hit. That was smoke through the infield. And they stop him at
I have a friend of mine that believes to this day the Orioles should have taken Bobby Witt over Adley. I said, if we had done that, I can honestly say I don't think Gunnar Henderson would be an Oriole because I don't see them taking back-to-back shortstops.
Gunnar Henderson will hit next. Golden opportunity right here. Swings and misses at the pitch off the plate.
At the dish, looking to lift the ball in the air in this spot. Anything but the inning double play, Boog.
All loaded up. Dangerous hitter at the plate. On the ground. McLean in plenty of time to first.
We'll score the 3rd run.
Tyler O'Neill, the next to hit. 0 for 2 in this one.
O'Neill.
Yeah, that's fouled off. Gets a swing and a miss.
I think the Orioles did just fine in that draft.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Don't get me wrong. Would I be happy to see Bobby Witt Jr. in orange and black? Sure.
They limit the damage here.
But I think the Orioles did just fine.
1 run in the inning, but they leave 2. We're headed to the 5th. It's the Orioles 3 and the Reds nothing. All set for the start of the inning. Now here is.
I'm not a big fan of, or I'm not one of those fans that will openly question a manager, openly question a general manager because.
And first offering is fouled off.
Well, these Reds, as this game goes on, have
The
to
bottom
be
line
more
is
disciplined
they
at the
know
plate.
more
They've been
about
chasing pitches
baseball
outside the zone
than
all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've
I'd
been
say
quite a bit today.
executives and managers, whatever in
0-2
baseball,
now.
know more about
Swing and a
baseball than
ground ball, and that one gets through into center
99.5% of
field.
fans. There may
So a
be
runner aboard to start the inning.
0.5% of
I'd say a
fans that
mistake pitch
just
in
never got the
0-2
job in
count. Too good of a
baseball,
pitch
never
to
pursued a
hit right
job
there.
in
You
baseball
have to
that
expand the
should
zone.
have.
Keep that leadoff man off first base.
Turned on, but foul wide of third.
Oh, I am not by any means saying the Orioles made the wrong decision. Quite the opposite.
There's a rocket into the outfield. Lead runner makes the turn at
Seriously,
second. Steer around third.
you have a gold
He'll
badge
score.
in
Relay
left
to
field
third.
and you
Not in time. He's safe.
Well, a swing like that can help you come out of the struggle. We saw the numbers coming into the ball game, but all he's trying to do at this point is help his team win.
already had Aiken warmed up. Crap.
That one catches the corner for a
I didn't
strike.
realize he was in the yellow.
And that is in for a strike. And the count is 0-2. No outs, runner over at third.
That's the ball.
This one in the dirt, no movement.
1 ball, 2
Now a
strikes,
ball
count.
and 2 strikes. Laser, base hit, aimed to score from third. And it's an RBI single. It's 3-2.
Well, back within one as he brings home the run. Just a very nice approach and swing right there to use the big part of the field. Everything was on time. He stayed balanced through the entire swing and just launched that one into center. And now let's see if they force some action with good wheels on the bases.
Jake Fraley,
Not
the
pretty
next
yet.
to hit for the Reds. And
That's
that
the
one
ball.
cutting but missing
1-0.
down low. Ripped to third and caught.
Nice play, Jordan.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives.
Santiago
You know, when you make
Espinal.
great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of
0-1, no
baseball,
strike.
not everything is in your control.
And I think Adley, and you're right,
Still only
up
one
until the
out
second
here in
half of
the inning.
last year, Adley was our best player. And I think Adley is going to remind people
Last 2 pitches have been down in the
just
zone.
who
Pitcher
he
clearly trying to get that ground ball
is
double play, but in this count,
this
he's gonna
year.
have to give in. Elevate
I
his
mean, look what he
pitches
did
and
in the
get
spring.
back into this at bat.
The count 2-1.
Nope, that's
Just
down.
missed. Chris with that distraction and a speedy guy at first. He's in a favorable hitter's count.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, this is a great spot for a hitter to be in.
And it's through for a hit. Throw comes into third.
Okay, Eflin.
He's safe at
I left
third,
you
and
in
the
too long. I
tying
was trying to
run
let you
is
get through
90
5.
feet away. Next for Cincinnati, Ellie De La Cruz has grounded out a couple of times.
I should have had
Out of the
Aiken
dugout now, and he's
ready
ready to
sooner.
make a move to the bullpen. Zach
Now pitching for
Keegan
the
Aiken
Orioles.
on to pitch here.
Still a lot
Number
of game
45.
left, and this game could go either way. So this is a big
Aiken.
opportunity for
The
him.
problem
to
is
get
I
some
just,
important outs and try to help carry this
okay,
lead
I
into
turned
the
him
late
around to
innings.
the worse side.
And that one's a little bit low. Ball 1. The shortstop
that's
takes
out.
the ball.
Could be some action here on this next pitch. Couple runners on. Probably a challenge pitch coming.
Ground ball left side could be 2. To second, that's 1. What a double
Wow.
play that was.
How did-
They put
I
2
can't
on the
believe I
board,
turned that.
4 hits, no errors, and 1 left.
Keegan
Last half
Aiken,
of the
you're my
fifth
hero.
coming up. It's the Orioles 3 and the Reds 2. Bottom of the inning and
Leading
into the
off
box
for
for
the Orioles,
Baltimore,
center
Cedric
fielder,
Mullins.
Cedric Mullins.
Strike 1.
You know, these Orioles showing great discipline at the
Those
plate.
two will always be compared to each other, though, because they went 1-2 in draft.
This one. They've already earned 5 walks in the game, and of course,
And it
they've
helps
provided
that
a lot of run-scoring
The
opportunities.
Royals, technically, well, not technically, they have had more postseason experience or postseason success than the Orioles. Ironically, by beating the Orioles.
the first out in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the Oriole
Now
cleanup hitter,
batting,
Jordan
third
Westburg.
baseman, Jordan Westburg.
And that one fouled off. Foul ball. Base is empty, one away. Last half of inning number 5. And a good eye there.
I don't like to say he wasted a pitch. I think that was a purpose pitch. Change the eye level, have him look up. Now go back exactly where you want to go.
Comes up empty as he chases that one in the dirt. Catcher has it, fires to first. In time for the second out. Good job to clean it up after the drop third strike.
So do you think what's on the roster right now is what we
Now it's going to be
go north with? Or do you think there's a surprise move, somebody gets cut, we sign somebody, and all of a sudden...
Hit hard on the ground is short. The throw to first, and that is that. 3 up, 3 down for the Orioles, but they still lead at 3-2.
I think it's kind of, we go north with what we got.
Catcher, Tyler Stevenson. Swung on, belted.
And caught way too much plate.
Hit one, hops off the wall. Should be extra bases. Safe at second with nobody out, and he represents the tying run.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there.
Well,
anytime you can drive a ball,
it's funny you say that. One of the reasons that I was looking at trading Mullins
it's even better when it gets you extra
was
bases. Gotta love looking in at your dugout and seeing your teammates fired up.
to bring Barfield to the majors.
And there's one down.
I think they have his potential rating too low in this game.
Right through there for a strike.
And I know you want to be patient as a hitter, but you got to be ready to jump on the first thing straight. And he got one right there, but left the bat on his shoulder.
Goes down looking.
Nice pitch, Keegan.
You've got to swing the bat with 2 strikes in this situation. You've got the time.
I really kind of want to get Barfield on this roster.
Put the ball in play, maybe something good will happen.
I do think if Mullins gets hurt long term, I do think they call up
Now
Barfield.
the designated hitter for the Reds, Spencer Steer.
Although they do have Laureano,
Line drive at a right
so
field.
maybe not.
Brings it in, and that's the third out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 2 in the bottom of the 6th. It's the Orioles 3 and the Reds 2. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the catcher, Gary Sanchez. That pitch gets the inside corner.
Nice pitch.
That's strike 1.
The count.
Strike on the inside corner.
0-2 count, both pitches
Oh.
on the inside part of the plate. Hitter
Have
is thinking,
fun.
I don't want to get beat here. This is a good time for
Man, you
something
don't feel
off-speed
good. You
home
got
run.
your kid's birthday party today.
And a quick out number 1.
You're right, you are going to have fun. At least you get to have cake.
Up to hit.
Designated hitter,
Time
Ryan O'Hearn.
Looks like it'll be a pitch.
You can never go wrong with cake.
Laureano looking to start something with 1 gone.
Laureano.
That one's
Counts
upstairs,
1-0.
ball 1. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. Still able to get it there in time. And they come away with an out after a tricky start to the play.
First baseman,
2 down, base is empty. Here's Ryan Mountcastle. And that drops
Oh,
in for a
okay.
strike. 2 down, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 6th.
Is it just at their house, or are you going somewhere for the
And it's
party?
1-1.
I got a ball. 1 strike.
And there's a foul ball. And it's even up.
Some of my first experiences at baseball games, Pigtown, because my first experiences were not at Camden Yards, they were at Memorial Stadium, was they would have days where you could pay extra to go to a bullpen party, and they actually had picnic tables sitting in the bullpen, like in the sand and dirt in the bullpen, and you would sit there and eat crabs.
Top of inning number 7 and ready to hit now for Cincinnati. Reese Hines.
How in the world have I made it with just 10 pitches?
Swing and a ground ball base hit right field. Whips it to Mountcastle. Barely got it.
Nice play.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging.
Keegan Aiken is bailing out this tired bullpen. Although I don't foresee many outings where he goes 2+ innings.
McClain up for the 3rd time here. Watches that one miss. Next pitch off the plate. Now 2-0. And another ball. And the tying run is on base.
He did not take the bat off his
Let me
shoulder
ask you,
the entire at-bat.
So up next,
if Corbin, in your opinion, if Corbin Burns' family wasn't settled in Arizona, if the wife just said, we will move wherever you sign, where do you think he signs? Do you think he does stay with Baltimore in that case, or do you think he goes somewhere completely? Do you think he goes to the Yankees, the Red Sox?
It's such a big deal in a tight one-run game like this one. Maybe it's a little bit risky, but they felt good about it.
Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, it gets talked about a lot, but a good high fastball in a 2-strike situation, it's just become such a problem for hitters in more recent years. With all of the emphasis by pitchers on developing that spin rate,
You think he would have come back?
good grip on the baseball, those high fastballs, they kind of look like to the hitter that they're rising, even though they're not, but they're not decreasing in velocity and spin rate, so very difficult to get the barrel on it.
Next offering is in for a strike. Swing and a ball popped in the air. Fair ball.
Really?
McClain headed for the plate. He'll score easily.
That's baseball.
RBI single, a big 2-out hit.
I can't say this game needs more of those type of hits and then complain about it.
Next to hit for the Reds. 2 gone. The possible go-ahead run at first.
Ball game is still tied. They can get out of this inning with a tie game.
Swing and a base hit. And that moves the go-ahead run to scoring position with 2 gone. So the go-ahead run is into scoring position. And now the catcher comes up to hit. Tyler Stevenson.
Oh, crap. I didn't warm anybody up. Crap. I didn't warm anybody else up. That's one thing I do have to get better about is bullpen management.
To the right side. He takes it on his own. They miss a big chance that took the lead here late. But they pick up 1 run on the RBI.
I mean, in his press conference when he was introduced with Arizona, he said the Orioles made a very good, competitive, aggressive offer.
Holiday up to the plate for the 3rd time as he looks at 1 down low.
And I actually appreciate him saying that because I'm sure the stigma was, the Orioles didn't sign the big fish again. Well, I know that's what the stigma is because I'm in this town. I hear it. Ownership didn't do enough.
And that one is in for a strike. Good pitch.
Sometimes the player just wants to go elsewhere.
Misses inside. 3-1 now.
Has there been an official word on Gunner, whether he's starting the season on the IL, whether he's going north to Toronto?
That's out to center field. Friedel on his way over. One up, one down. Here's the shortstop at the plate. Gunnar Henderson. He's already homered in this game. And that one is downstairs. 1-0. Diaz, 28 years old. And he was.
How do I sound, by the way?
And that's through there for a strike. All tied up here, the bottom of the 7th. The shortstop takes the ball. Hard hit left side. Throw to first in time.
That's good.
Tyler O'Neill, the next to hit for the Orioles. 0 for 3 in this one.
I got the mic pretty much right
Swings and
next to my face.
Strike one.
Threw that fastball right by him, slightly elevated. That's a confidence boost for this guy out there on the mound. See if he continues to climb the ladder.
Don't get swing happy.
And that's outside.
Doubled up on the slider away.
I'm telling you, if you get the game, you ought to try hitting from this camera.
Outside. And the count is 2-2.
The only adjustment he needs to make is his target. If you aim at the outside corner, that slider's going to end up way off the plate. Perhaps look more down the middle.
I'm sure you heard a few minutes ago when my dogs were barking. I never did find that setting in the microphone program to filter out the background noise, though. I know you told me about it. YouTube told me about it, but I even watched a YouTube video and I followed the steps the guy did in the YouTube video. I couldn't find it. And I know I got the right program downloaded.
Ball one there. Hit on the ground to the right side. Dives, but it kicks off his glove. Flip to the pitcher is in time. And they do get the third out. The inning is over. And the Orioles leave one. Score remains. We go to the 8th. And now here is T.J. Friedel.
Give me CNL Perez.
Coming out for the Orioles, CNL Perez.
And we all know about his slider. It's just filthy, man. And one of the better ones in the game, I'd say. Spin rate's very high, and it just breaks a ton.
Hard ground ball for a base knock. The leadoff single, and the go-ahead run is aboard.
Multi-hit game for him now, and with the lack of results.
Yeah, I think after this stream, I'm going to sit down and actually download Streamlabs and actually try to do some of that stuff and look in the Elgato marketplace, like you were saying, for a startup scene, mainly an intermission scene. So like if I have to run to the restroom or something, I don't have just a blank looking at my empty chair.
One out. The go-ahead run is at second. Runner takes off for third. Swing and a miss. Uh-oh, throw goes to second.
I'd say an aggressive roll of the dice there to steal third in this spot, but they felt good about it.
From the wrong base.
Now the game plan changes a little bit at the plate.
You love to see it.
Run home. The defense might pull the infield in. Definitely a strikeout situation right here. Lots of ways for that go-ahead run to score if the ball's put in play.
That's what I figured. I figured I had already gotten, I mean, I told you roughly. I was like, I can hold off on the stream deck. It's not something I need.
He swings and fouls one off.
I could have held off probably on the boom arm, but I like having I like having the microphone close to me. It does help with audio.
There's the strike. 95 of that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Way upstairs, and it's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out in a heater. But they push across 1 run. 1 hit, no error. Now into the game, Stuart Fairchild. He'll be patrolling center field.
You know how frustrating it is when you get 5 walks in a game,
Here's the third
Number
baseman.
50,
but you only have 3 hits, and you're not.
Emilio Pagan.
And I actually think I found a good position for the camera, because those first couple days I did not like where the camera was.
Looking to get the tying run on base. That misses, and the count is 1-1. Activity in the bullpen for the Reds. Sam Mole up and throwing for Terry Francona. Next offering is in for a strike. Swings through, that's a strikeout.
Pretty big strikeout right there to start this 8th inning. Down 1, any leadoff base runner really makes this inning.
I remember when he was with Tampa, I thought he was going to be like one of the next great closers in the league. Didn't pan out, but I loved Elbow Pagan when he was with Tampa. Oh, speaking of Tampa, did you hear the stories of the players that have actually gone back to the Trop to work out, and how they said how disgusting it is, and that their stuff's starting to grow on the field because of the rain that is just keeps pouring down into there?
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, trying to stay out of the double play right here.
Next offering way upstairs. Called out on strikes. Frozen with the heater at the knees. Here's Ramon Laureano. 0 for 1 so far.
Designated hitter, Ramon
Now moves to first. Kaiser
Laureano.
dives back in safely.
I think you want to get a one-way lead.
I think I got Kaiser leading my team in walks right now.
So you want to make sure that you can get some link on the secondary lead and perhaps score on a ball in the gap.
Holding on to a 1-run lead.
The worst I can do on this homestand is 4-2.
Way out front for strike 2.
Very solid inning on the mound so far here in the 8th. Holding on to this narrow lead. This is exactly what they were looking for.
Swings over the splitter for strike 3.
I gotta send you the YouTube video where the guy was talking about how bad the things are at the Trop.
Matt McClain.
If you're interested.
Perez back to work. That one misses, and that's ball 1. High in the air, out to right. Kaiser on the move, makes the catch, and there's 1 gone. Now the left fielder, Jake Fraley.
I should have tried. You're right. I should have tried.
The last chance he gets to keep his hitting streak alive. And the first offering is not close.
Are you subscribed on YouTube to Brody Brazil?
Dives, and he can't hang on. And he'll be safe at first. Now the number 2 hitter, Santiago Espinal. First offering, runner goes. Pitch in for a strike. Throw to second, great jump, and that is a stolen base. It wasn't even close.
Well, with that kind of elite,
I do a horrible job holding on runners.
When you can swipe a bag against this dude, maybe more than anything, it prevents teams from just
so okay, if you're already subscribed to Brody, there was a video I watched of his, I think it was yesterday, where he was talking about Jason Stark's article with
the other way, and there's a hit.
With how bad the Trop is.
Lead runner puts the brakes on, so now it's runners at first and third. Next for Cincinnati, Ellie De La Cruz. Puts a bunt down. Fires over to first. Out on the sac bunt. He's
Too bad you'll never
safely
see
at
that in real
second.
life.
A run comes in on the play.
Now that
You will
Excellent
never
cleanup hit.
see
Tyler Stevens.
Ellie De La Cruz dropping a bunt in real
And
life.
first pitch
I mean,
fastball
he
is
could.
in for a strike. Runner at second, 2 down. Here at the top of the ninth.
I got a ball, one
In the
strike.
dirt, blocked. And an excellent job keeping it right there.
I feel bad. I know the average reliever only throws 10 to 20 pitches,
This is just off the outside.
but I'm trying
I
to
think that was a
save
strike.
bullets in the bullpen for
And that's
tomorrow.
downstairs and outside.
First pitch strike from the pitcher, but then no
Game.
panic at all by the hitter. Very patient, showing good discipline. Now he's in the driver's seat with the 3-1 count.
2 outs and 1 in scoring position.
But you should watch
We'll
that
see another
that
payoff
video he
pitch.
did about talking about Jason Stark's article on the Tropicana field. It's fascinating
So now
and sad.
2-1 and 2 outs. First and second, 2 outs. And now the center fielder, Stuart Fairchild. That misses the zone.
Okay,
That's
as much as
ball 1.
I don't want to bring in another arm,
2
I
outs.
do still have a chance to
Base
win
runners
this
at first
game,
and
so I
second.
can't just say,
Fastball
okay,
for
this
a
game's
strike.
over. And not that I've ever had the chance to interview anybody yet, but I'm super jealous of the fact that he recently
That's
interviewed
smashed
Bob
towards
Costas.
center. Mullins pulls it in on the run. 2 men left stranded, but they do push across 1. 8-9-1 due up in the bottom of inning number 9. It's the Reds 5 and the Orioles 3.
Well, if they played at Raymond,
now pitching for
correct me if I'm wrong though, if they played at Raymond James,
Sam Mole.
if you're the Marlins, wouldn't you have a problem with that? Because wouldn't they be severely cutting into your fan base potentially?
Let's see what he's got
leading
here to
off
try
for
and
the
close it out.
Orioles. First
And into the
baseman,
box for Baltimore, Ryan Mountcastle.
Mountcastle.
I'm glad you're still here, because once this game's over, I want to play around with the trade finder and see if there's anything legitimate that we could honestly see the Orioles doing for a reliever or a starter. Marlins don't have fans,
Swings through that one.
but they
It's
do
a
have Griffin
strikeout.
Conine.
Well, I definitely say that's a statement strikeout right there. You
Now
come out of the
batting.
bullpen, go right after the hitters, and
Second
3
baseman,
pitches later,
Jackson.
you got one
Speaking
out.
of the Marlins, you know how much I would love to
You're
get
looking at
Sandy
each other and
Alcantara
saying,
from.
He's going to be tough to get to today.
And first offering is fouled off. That's a strike across the top of the zone.
That's the problem with trades. You see trades that do get pulled off, and you're like, and you look at it and you're like, the Orioles with all their prospects couldn't have done better than that. Like, you're telling me right now, with how bad the Marlins are, we couldn't call them up and say, we'll give you Chase McDermott,
Everything came together perfectly for him
Judd
right
Fabian,
there.
and
Ripped that one down the line and kept it fair.
another prospect
When you hit it
for
hard,
Sandy Alcantara.
to keep your hands tight to your body so you don't hook around that baseball and put it in foul territory. And that right there was perfect. Now that sets up a huge at bat in this ball game.
With the tying run at the plate, and the home team trying to pull it out.
I would love to see Sandy Alcantara in a Orioles uniform. I might,
Tying run
and I'm
at
not
the
saying I
plate.
would. I'm saying I might.
Swings and misses, struck him out. And the Orioles down to their final out. Tyler O'Neill,
Now
the
batting,
next to hit for the
left fielder,
Orioles.
Tyler
Corner infielders guarding the lines,
O'Neill.
trying to prevent extra bases.
I'm genuinely surprised that within 2 or 3 days of the Garrett Cole injury, you didn't hear that the Yankees were acquiring Dylan Cease or Alcantara.
2-run game, a 2 away here in the bottom of the ninth.
just missed. If he's able to connect
I
on
might
that,
go as far as to
what
say,
power.
if the baseball gods said to me, you could have Corbin Burns back, or you could have
In the dirt. Runner holds.
Sandy
Now goes to
Alcantara
1
at
and
a
2.
reasonable trade price, I might take Alcantara.
This could end it. That misses. It's 2 and 2.
What about you?
Runner at
Oh, I
second,
agree.
2 down.
I think one of my German buddies
Spoils that one, and it
texted
remains
me
2
and
and 2.
said Clark Schmidt is now on the starting the season on the IL too. So people
Tying
can
run
talk
at the
about the
plate.
Orioles pitching problems all they want.
Spoils
The
the
Yankees are
2-strike
worse.
pitch, and he'll see another. And it remains 2 and 2.
Also really good at bat. What I like about this guy, his bat stays in the zone for a long time. Gives him the ability to foul off tough pitches.
There's a
Still 2 and
particular
2 after
trade
the
that
foul ball.
that when I put it in the
Grinding
trade
AB
finder
right here.
thing,
About to see
the
pitch
Dodgers
number
offered
10.
me for Mateo.
And now
That
the count
if you're
is
still in here in a few minutes,
and another power hitter lurking in the on-deck circle.
and I don't trust their
Keeps the
rotation.
at-bat going with a foul ball.
In an era with a lot of swing and miss and strikeouts, you gotta love an at-bat like this. No one giving in.
Got him, and that's the ball game.
Oh my God! I was looking at the chat that went right down the middle. Like, oh my God. Oh well. All right, let's play around with the trade finder while you're in here. I want to show you this trade. We advance today. Yes, I gotta do some. I don't even know how healthy this guy is in real life, and for whatever reason they have him as a reliever. Or Tony Goslin, if healthy, would be easily our number 2 starter. I just don't know how healthy he is. Okay, let's look at the trading block. This makes no sense to me. Why he's even on the trading block, because he just signed a new freaking contract. I would love to get Mitch Keller from the Pirates. I would love to get Evan Phillips back from the... This is another guy I'd really like from the Brewers. Did they say how long Jones is down for? Was that season ending? This is new. Kyle Gibson has 5 years of service time and must consent to being optioned to the minors. You will have to designate him. That adds a degree of realism. So he won't consent to being. So let me show you. Because I want to try to, if I do make a trade, I want it to be realistic. So I want to look at team needs. I keep going back to this. I don't know why, I keep going back to this. No, it was Mateo. Okay, it was Mateo. I really keep going back to this. It makes so much sense. The Orioles need bullpen help. The money's practically the same. Now, I don't know why, even in this game, with the Tigers supposed to be competitive this year, I don't know why they would do this. Now, this is a really weird one. Initially, they offered me best. All of a sudden, I can't get Ben Joyce. Let me go to the Giants. Oh, I gotta show you this one. Look at the Giants' record. 4-17. There's David Robertson just sitting there. Don't think I haven't thought about that. Okay, they want a first baseman. I'd be willing to give you O'Hearn. I might even be one. Might even be one to give you Mountie. I'd be willing. Would you take Mullins? I'll tell you what. Let's see. Let's get a laugh. Number one, I can't even trade Bradish because I got him on the injured list. Ryan O'Hearn. Ladies and gentlemen, your security blanket for Felix Batista. That is oh so tempting. What do you think, Big Town? No, I don't like the fact that he has only a three pitch mix though. Oh, there you go. I mean, that's instantly your backup. All right, let's play around a little bit more here. I mean, I do think a trade is going to happen because they got to do something when Mateo is ready to come back. There's another one. Hell, to be fair, I'd even to make it even more fair, so I don't feel it. I'd be willing to throw in Chase McDermott. But here, to give you an idea how goofy the trade logic can be, let's say we wanted to trade Cedric Mullins. Who would take that, the Orioles or the Twins? Are they really offering me their top pitching prospect for Cedric Mullins? They're offering me their top pitching prospects for Cedric Mullins. Okay. This game's trade logic. Casey Mize is already 27 years old. Wow. I'm just curious. Take Cedric Mullins out of the equation. Let's see what the value. Let's see how they value prospects. Oh, I guess I gotta move the camera again. You can see the names. Okay, the Yankees are not giving up Spencer Jones for Mayo. That would help us this year, but the Orioles would never do it. Again, the White Sox giving it. Who, who's the guy from the Pirates you said you really wanted? I just want to see. Was it Bubba Chandler? I would do that. 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 And I would do that. This trade logic. They claim they value prospects more this year than they ever have. I tell you what, for fun, just because I'm having fun, you're in here, and the Orioles wouldn't do that. Orioles wouldn't do either one of those. Orioles wouldn't do that. Orioles wouldn't do that. So let me get this straight. If you're willing to give me your two best pitching prospects for Cedric Mullins, but you're offering me Michael A. Taylor for Samuel Basallo. Okay. I wanted him so bad in the offseason. Okay, they're basically not offering anything of consequence for. I got to be honest with you. I don't usually do trades in the first season, but this intrigues the hell out of me. This really intrigues the hell out of me. No, Big Down, you want to see the definition of dumb? Watch this. Remember, I had 30 team control on. Watch the offers that the Astros get. Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat. Where's that Yankees offer? Oh, hand to God, I was watching Mills stream yesterday. He's doing an Astros franchise. He threw Jordan Alvarez in the trade finder. The Yankees offered him Carlos Rondon, Aaron Judge, and Jason Dominguez. See you, bud. But this is tempting. The Orioles need bullpen. This right here is oh, this is tempting. Do you do this deal? Oh, that's tempting. All right. Let me simulate today. Well, I'm looking at the Orioles as contenders. What is going on in Atlanta? Four and 18 Giants. What is going on in San Francisco? How are you, sir? Ugh. Nick Martinez versus Charlie Morton. All right, well, I will be back later today. Again, if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking the video. We are on the road to 4,000 watch hours, and we are, I believe, 7 subscribers away from 1,200, maybe 8. See you all next time.